Donna Grace grew momentarily quiet. Perhaps she didn't want to think of their grandfather and his harsh treatment of her. But I can't stay. I know the sort of things they'll say about my baby. I'm going back to Santa Fe. She'd grown up there, and it was the only place she'd ever felt accepted, at least until Mama had died and Grandfather Ramos had taken charge of the girls. Thankfully, Papa had rescued them and brought them to St. Louis. She hoped to reach her destination before the baby was born. Please, little one, don't come before then. What will you do there? Mary May asked, even though they'd had this discussion before. Donna Grace knew her sister clung to the hope of persuading her to change her mind. I'll rent a house and take in boarders and feed travelers. The money Melvin had paid her to disappear would fund her venture. She hadn't wanted to take his guilt money, but their baby deserved that much. Maybe I won't go to Santa Fe. There are lots of other towns where I could do the same. But we can't travel with this lot. They both knew it was the last train to head out this fall. There has to be a way. I won't believe otherwise. Donna Grace wanted nothing more than to escape the shame of being with child, but with no husband. Through no fault of her own, Melvin had lied to her. Never again would she trust a man. But she would take care of this wee one. Excuse me, ma'am. She turned at the sound of a deep male voice behind her. It was Luke Russell. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. She fixed him with a hard look, not unlike the one her grandfather often used, she suspected. You might have had the courtesy to pretend otherwise. He grinned crookedly. Might have done so, except I think I have a solution to your problem. She resisted the urge to cradle her hands about her stomach. Her baby was not a problem, and she refused to let anyone think otherwise. And what would that be? You could get married. Never! She covered the baby bump with her palms. The crooked grin widened. All you need is a husband in name only to get you to your destination. Her eyes widened and then narrowed as she comprehended his meaning. A pretend marriage. Or you could call it a marriage of convenience. I don't expect it would be very convenient for either party. He laughed at that. It never hurts to have someone on your side, helping with chores and things. She wondered what things he meant. Nevertheless, she couldn't stop herself from asking, Are you volunteering? Yes, ma'am, I am. Why would you do that? Donna Grace, you wouldn't. Mary May looked about ready to swoon. Donna Grace held up her hand to signal her sister to be quiet. Let's hear what the man has to say. Luke Russell stood before the Clark ladies, waiting for the shock of his offer to disappear from their faces. He knew the moment it did so with the elder sister, Donna Grace, and he knew it was time to press his case. Miss Clark, would you walk with me so we can talk? She gave her sister a look he couldn't interpret and then nodded. I'd like to hear what you have in mind. She fell in at his side. They edged past the wagons crowded together and sidestepped two mule skinners, their wide shoulders forcing Luke and Donna Grace to press against the nearby wagon wheel. He had long ago grown used to the sound of animals bleating and men yelling. With everyone occupied with their own affairs, he and Miss Clark could hope to talk without being overheard and misjudged. He got in the first word. It's impossible for me to stand back and not help someone when it's in my power to do so. So, when I overheard you ladies wondering how you were going to get to Santa Fe, I knew there was something I could do. He didn't add that there had been a time when he put his own affairs first, and because of that, blamed himself for the murder of Ellen, his betrothed. He should have been beside her, protecting her. Instead, he had left her on her own to follow his own interests. They resumed their journey, dust rising from each step. But marriage